Hello, this is Gary Westby, champagne buyer with KLWine Merchants, here today to talk about a wine that I need to have stop surprising me. It's this champagne right here, the Baron-Fuenté Grande Réserve, and it seems like for going on 10 years now, every time I have it, I say, wow, what a surprise, it's so good. But it's such a consistent performer that I just need to start expecting it to be really, really, really good. And there are many reasons for its quality. First of all, it's the time that they take with this champagne that really helps to make it very, very special. While most things that you find that are really, really great value for money are aged closer to the legal limit in champagne of 15 months of aging on the lees, this Baron-Fuenté Grande Réserve has really been reserved grandly. It's 40% reserve wines from past vintages, and it's 3 years of aging on the lees. So this is something that's much more comparable to the higher quality non-vintages from the very, very big names. It's from a very interesting place, Charly-Sur-Marne, which is in the very far west of Champagne. I brought out my map here. So you can see here on the map, we have, try and get this right here. You have Reims up here at the top, and then you have Epernay here in the middle, and then all the way out west, out towards the Paris district, you have Charly. And this area used to just not get exported to the U.S. and was instead the area that Parisians would just jump in their car, drive out through Meaux, and arrive very, very easily to fill up their trunks and go back to Paris. But now we're starting to bring in more and more of the good wines from this western Valley of the Marne area. In this area, there's specialists in Meunier, and this wine reflects that. It's 60% of Meunier, 30% of Chardonnay, and 10% of Pinot Noir. Now, the Pinot Noir percentage is small because it's very difficult to get Pinot Noir ripe in this area. So Meunier is the primary thing that they plant, and then Chardonnay gets planted on anything that's steep and east facing out in this area. It's also interesting in that they own 90 acres of their own, and then the other 90 acres, which they have contracts for, they actually purchase the grapes on the vine and send their own picking team in. That way they can assure that they get the highest quality that they can even out of their purchased fruit. And most of their wines that we carry, except for this one, are all estate. So they do a lot of all estate stuff with their Esprit, for instance, their vintage, for instance. But let's crack this guy open and check it out. It's owned by a brother and sister team. So Ignace Baron is the winemaker in the cellar, and then Sophie Baron is the vineyard manager. Great people, super, super nice. And many of you, I know, have met Eric de Bricis, who is their export director, and he's come so many times to the tent events and for other events, and just a great guy. Let's check this guy out and see how it's tasting today. All right. I mean, as you can see, it has super, super fine bubbles. And, at the time of recording this video, in April of 2021, we're selling this for $24.99 on the shelf. And, there's many $40 bottles of $40, $50, $60 even bottles of big name champagne that don't have a bead this fine, simply because they haven't aged it for as long as the as Ignace and Sophie Baron have aged this. Now, on the nose, it has that perfect, very, very bright pear fruit that I always associate with Meunier. But it's white pear. It's subtle pear. It's not a big bruised pear thing like you can sometimes get from some of the areas like Roy on the closer into Epernay in the Valley of the Marne. And on the palate, it's very, very fresh, clean, racy style. It has really nice minerality, and I get some very good doughy, rich baguette type bread in there from the time on the lees, and I think also from the reserve wines, you get some nice subtle nutty components. Well, I wish that I was tasting this with you. The time's coming soon. Cheers. Toast to you.